Hi Johnny, it's lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you, thank you.
So The Rhyme Diary has got a little bit of everything in it. It's got goodies, baddies, it's got bromance, it's got comedy. Is this like the perfect film to flex your acting muscles?
Well, I never thought about flexing my acting muscles, but I'll give it some consideration next time out. It was the perfect film, I think, to make for our dearly departed Dr. Hunter S. Thompson, who wrote the book, and with regard to the sort of combination of all the elements involved making the thing, certainly Bruce Robinson writing and directing, Amber Heard, Aaron Eckhart, Giovanni Ribisi, Michael Rispoli, that was perfection as far as I was concerned, in terms of making a love letter, writing a love letter to Hunter, yeah.
For the last Hunter S. Thompson film that you did, you stayed with him and you immersed yourself in his life. And if someone was to do the same with you, what would they find out about you?
Yeah, that I like to dress up like a chicken. And just walk around the house. Nobody really notices anymore.
I'm sure I've seen Brad Pitt do that.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Hunter was very brave. He was very generous to give me that amount of his life, to let me sponge off him for such a long time. I don't know if I could do that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm ready for somebody to come, sniffing around and trying to steal bits of my soul.
And probably some of your belongings as well.
Yeah, maybe a few belongings.
You spend a lot of this film hungover. What is the, number one Johnny Depp cure for a hangover?
Oh, you must play through.
Yeah?
You must continue on, yeah.
Without any help?
Well, I mean, maybe a couple of aspirins or something, but then I think it's important to just go ahead and, hair of the dog, as it were.
Excellent. What's your favourite hair of the dog?
Whatever's necessary, really. It doesn't, well, I think, if you go into the arena of, let's say, some of our greatest writers, Charles Dickens, I think he had a sort of penchant for champagne in the morning.
Why not?
Why not?
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Now, the Radio 1 listeners were really excited when they knew I was going to be talking to you, so we got a couple of their questions.
Sweet.
Natalie Chance asked, if you had to pick an actor to portray you, who would it be?
If I had to pick an actor to portray me, who would it be? Let's see. I was asked something like this earlier, but here's what I think. Because I'm pretty ignorant when it comes to who's out there and who's I don't really know who anybody is, unfortunately. I don't watch much current cinema. But if there were a film to be made about my life, I would say the most interesting way to do it would be with dogs.
Please tell me more.
Just to have a dog play me, some clochard, some kind of, little savage street dog.
I see you as like a Shih Tzu or something.
A Shih Tzu?
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. Let's have a savage Shih Tzu then.
And Steve asked, what's your top tip for maintaining your facial hair?
Maintaining my facial hair?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the mere fact that I can't grow much is probably my top tip. I'm one of those who's not allowed a beard. I only get this kind of, drug dealer looking extravaganza. Everything else is I've got 3 hairs here and about 7 over here.
Nice. And a lot of our listeners kind of wanted to know, for some reason, if someone had a fight with someone else, who would win. So if, for example, Captain Jack had a fight with Edward Scissorhands, who would win?
Captain Jack would kill him. He would absolutely destroy him.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Now, you've been quoted as saying that that music is your first love.
Yeah.
And Radio 1 DJ Zane Lowe is doing like a masterpiece programme, and he does these every so often for bands and their albums. And he's doing Oasis's album, Definitely Maybe. So can you, I've heard you're a massive fan of Oasis.
Yeah.
What did you first make of Definitely Maybe when it came out?
Definitely Maybe was that the first one? Yeah, that was the first one. I thought it was a masterpiece. I thought the songwriting was brilliant. I thought that the production was brilliant. The vocals, everything. Guitar sound, obviously Live Forever is this anthemic kind of song that stays with you forever and ever. It's endless. It's still brand new. and that's really achieving something in music when you can, when it's still new, you know, 10 years, 15 years after the fact.
And if you had to pick a tune from Definitely Maybe to play on Radio 1, which one would it be?
Let's see. I think it would have to be Slide Away.
Nice.
Yeah, Slide Away.
I was convinced you were going to say Live Forever after what you just said.
Yeah, no, I'd play Slide Away.
And you're quite a fan of England, from what I can make out. Do you think that this kind of film is perhaps more suited for an English audience because they prefer less Hollywood type blockbusters?
Yeah, I think. I mean, you know, a film like this was never intended to be anything other than what it is, which is a sort of a film about Hunter S. Thompson's kind of early days as a journalist. So it was never about explosions and bouncing, nubiles and stuff like that. It was always about bringing this sort of love letter to Hunter to the screen, and doing it in the best way with the writer-director Bruce Robinson from Withnail and I. So yeah, in that sense, it does have a much more sort of, I believe it'll be much more appreciated over here. It was never a film that was made necessarily for Wichita, Kansas. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think people will get the humor a lot more here. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, the humour is the best thing I think about this film. People aren't expecting it to be so packed with it. What's your favourite humorous scene in this?
Well, there's so much. I mean, I can remember shooting the scene in The Witch Doctors, Papa Nebo's, where it was virtually impossible to keep a straight face. There was also, when we did the acid scene, having to look at a grown man and say, your tongue is like an accusatory giblet. That's a hard one to get out without giggling, without falling over, laughing. There's so many funny scenes in the film, so many strange moments that, too many to sort of mention.
And finally, Johnny, La gente está muy loca.
What happened?
Just sing it, you knew your Spanish like you in the film. Pretend you do.
Yes, I'm with you.
It was the #1 in England, and everyone kept saying, Johnny, la gente está muy loca. The people are going crazy, and everyone wanted to ask you that as well from Radio 1. They thought they were being original.
It's very good. I'm going to have that tattooed to me later this afternoon.
You ought to, I think so. Thank you so much. It was so lovely to meet you.
Thank you,
Cheers.
Pleasure.
Thanks.
Real pleasure.